Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dial. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having an amazing week so far, productive week. Now, this week, I want to talk about a brand that is probably very, very close to my heart, and a brand that I'm slowly starting to love and appreciate. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of a new fan to this brand. Let's talk about Bethune. Let's talk about the history of Bethune. Now, Bethune, as you've seen these days in Watch Media, is here with a bang. Their timepieces are bold, different, bright, and they're meant to represent a larger-than-life aesthetic. Well, that's in my opinion. But don't take my word for it. Take Mr. Iron Man himself, known as... these days actually known as Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr., who came out in 2019 wearing a DB8 tourbillon watch from Bethune, which is the lightest and fastest tourbillon in Swiss industry watchmaking. It's not only Robert Downey Jr. who wears Bethune. A lot of American celebrities wear Bethune. For example, the American music producer Swiss Beats has been wearing a Bethune, or he was seen wearing a Bethune Dreamwatch 5, or Michael Strahan for the New York Giants wearing that iconic Bethune DB28 kind of blue zirconium, or mega watches. Now, let's take a deep dive into the Bethune history. Now, the Bethune history is helmed by the master watchmaker, Mr. Denis Flageolet. Excuse my French. Bethune is primarily known for its flamboyant aesthetics that often depart from normal design language of classical making into its own style. Now, Bethune's foundings were in the Jura Mountains, hugging with the border of France, and there was a small hamlet of Le Boursin, home of Bethune. Now, the brand was started in 2002 when Mr. David Zanetta, an Italian collector and dealer of art and vintage watches, joined forces with Mr. Denis Flageolet, a fourth-generation watchmaker in France. Now, Mr. Flageolet and Mr. Zanetta had crossed paths during their time working at Techniques Horlogers Appliquées, THA for short. And this is a manufacturer that one watchmaker that we know and love, F.P. Journe, Francis Paul Journe, founded, along with Pascal Courtault in the late 1980s. Now, they would bring the dream team of watchmakers early in their career that would include Mr. Flageolet and Mr. Vianney Halter. Mr. F.P. Journe was a businessman. Now, together, this impressive bench of watchmakers specialized in creating complicated high-end movements, and brands such as Breguet, Cartier, Frank Muller, and Boucherer would acquire and absorb THA after some time. Now, after the acquisition of THA, there was maybe there was a desire or a need to start something new or start afresh in the new millennium that attracted Journe or Halter, that left THA, but Zanetta, in fact, decided to strike it out on his own too. So F.P. Journe and company left, but also Zanetta decided, I should also leave. Now, in Flageolet, he sensed a growing impatience that was anonymously designing movements for someone else. So they had that need, they had that desire for them to stand out, and they just didn't want to be nameless in the background, just making watches for other people. And that is how Bethune was born. And one of the quotes that was mentioned that I found on their website is, there was this absolute necessity to no longer work with big brands that had become incapable of working honestly with their suppliers. So there was a very, very, very big disconnect at that time, and that's what led to Bethune being Bethune. Now, Bethune itself, the company as a whole, and I've spent hours on the website. So I read about the history. De Bethune have 50 employees. A very, very, you could say it's a very, very small company, although 50 people is a lot of people in my opinion. But they have 50 employees, which include watch engineers, develop designers, micro mechanical engineers, polishers, decorators, all these facets needed to make their watches. And their watches are firmly based on research and development and technical and aesthetic innovations in the spirit of the great 18th century master watchmakers. So they kind of model their watches based on that kind of aesthetic. Now, their tourbillons, their perpetual calendars, their chronometers, deadbeat seconds, spherical moons, bridges, wheels, pallet levers, balance wheels, pinions, everything is individually designed by de Bethune, and it's crafted with meticulous attention to the slightest of detail, including the traditional cotes de Bethune and micro light engraving that I'm sure that you've seen in their de Bethune watches. They stand out. Now, de Bethune has developed no fewer than 31 calibers and is presented at 30 world premieres. That's pretty big numbers. And it's registered a large number of patents, as well as 230 one-off pieces. Now, they're more on the bespoke side of things. Now, de Bethune has received the highest distinction award of the watch industry all over the world, including the GPHG, the Grand Prix Horlogerie de Genève, and the award was called the Aiguille d'Or. Excuse my French again. For the best watch of the year. So de Bethune is making huge strides in the industry, and honestly, I love de Bethune. I love what they're doing. I love the direction they're taking it. My favorite part of the de Bethune watch is the floating lugs of the DB28. I just love how it just, it's so, it doesn't feel gimmicky, but it feels like something that stands out. It doesn't come across as I'm trying to be too cool, but it comes across as I'm just being myself. So I really love de Bethune, everything that they're doing, their flamboyancy. Sometimes you just need that kind of spark in your life. So yeah, so I've picked out my favorite watches, one of which that I've actually mentioned from the de Bethune catalog. Like I said, I've been on their website and I've been scrolling through the website. My favorite is the DB kind of 2 Grande Complication. Now, this has a hand-polished blue titanium hands for hours and minutes, and it has jumping seconds. It has a classic reverse side display. It's polished in yellow gold, the hour, the minute, and the date hands. It has a spherical moon phase and a leap year indicator at 3 o'clock. And my other favorite watch is the one that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is the DB28 XP kind of blue tourbillon. This watch is so beautiful. The blue, I don't even know how they managed to get that blue. It feels like it's anodized, but I look, de Bethune, I honestly don't know how you guys do it, but for me, this is a very, very precious watch. The dial has a titanium hour ring with blue microlight decoration, and it's polished hour markers. It has a blue grade 5 circular Saturn titanium minutes and hands seconds ring, and it has a bridge cover on the barrel and triangular central bridge in grade 5 blue polished titanium with blue drawn chamfered contour Milky Way patterns produced by a laser beam micro milling, gilded with a 24 karat gold leaf. That is a mouthful for a mouthful kind of watch. So that's basically how the DB28 kind of blue dial came to be. But yeah, I mean, one day I would really love to go for a factory tour at de Bethune just to see how, they make their watches. I think I've seen there's an introductory video on their website where it actually takes you through. It's like a 10-minute video where it takes you through like the inception of the watch and how it goes through different phases. and I would love to see that with my own 2 eyes one day. So I just want to say, Bethune, thank you. Thank you for creating amazing timepieces, and thank you for being yourself. We need those kind of things in the watch industry, because whenever the watch industry seems to go one way, it feels like everyone is following that way. But we have trailblazers like yourself, Bethune, that just do their own thing and have fun with it. And you've kind of shown love to our channel as well. So thank you for that as well. But anyway, that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video of the history of Bethune. If you have any comments or if you want to continue to hear about history of watch brands, let me know which history you want me to cover next. Just comment it down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay on the watch.